Hey, hi everyone. So we are looking at this problem called find the first and last position of element in a sorted array. So we have an array which is given in sorted order and we have to find the target element. So the array being sorted means that it's a good indication that we can do binary search, which should reduce our time complexity, and it's specifically given you must write an algorithm with law of log and complexity. So the idea is to use binary search, but see, I'm going to initially start with an idea that I'll try to use binary search to find the element. Then I will do a linear scan to the left to find the first element, and a linear scan to the right to find the second element. So that's the idea that I'm trying to do. Let's give it a shot. So what I'm going to do first will be I have nums, right? I'm going to have basically my functions. Sorry, I'm going to initialize my left and right. Left is going to be 0 and right is going to be len of nums minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to write first the binary search part, and then once we find that element, we'll do something to kind of find the first position and last position. So how we are going to do this would be we'll have the terminating condition while left is less than or equal to right. Then we'll have mid is equal to left plus right by 2. If nums of mid is equal to target, then we have to do something. We have to call scan and find, just have that function defined, scan and return and scan left and right. So here this function is going to take in nums again and probably mid. So let's target. And what this function should do for me is it should return maybe the first position and the last position. So that's what this function should do. And then I'm going to do basically return first position comma last position. Now I'll just implement the common binary search. So if the target is greater than nums of mid of nums, then what that means is target is in the second half. So what I should do there is I should make my left as mid plus 1. Else what I have to do is I have to make my right is equal to mid minus 1. Okay, so there's a possibility that you'll not find the element. In that case, what you have to do is you have to return minus 1 minus 1, right? So now we have to define basically the two functions, scan left and right. Scan left right, it's going to be nums mid target. So what we will have here would be so we will have basically the left and the right values initialized to mid. Okay, these are my left index and right indexes. What I'll do would be while left minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0 and nums of left minus 1 equal to target. In that case, I'll just append, I'll just make left equal to minus 1, right? Yeah, sorry, I'll just left minus 1, yeah, this is what I meant. I'll just decrement left by 1. likewise I need to do for right. So while right plus 1 should be less than or equal to len of nums minus 1, which should not go beyond, let's say, the index of the array, and nums of right plus 1 equal to target. What we will do would be right plus equal to 1. Then what we will do will be like return left and right. So let's give this a shot. Yeah, that seems to have worked. Let's try submit. Yeah, this works. So let's maybe look at the code a little bit. So what we are doing here is, first, this part should be fairly as familiar to most people. It's basic binary search, right? This entire part is basic binary search, and the only thing that we are doing differently is, let's say once you find a target, we are not returning that target position immediately. Instead, we are calling this method called scan left right. What this function would do would be, it will do a scan to the left as well as a scan to the right. And the condition is basically very simple to check. Let's say we are looking at this example here in this particular array, example 1 5 7 7 8 8 10. Let's say if I found the midpoint as index 4, then all I'm checking for the left first position is basically whether the target is still matching when I'm doing the current pointer minus 1, right? It's matching. So that's my terminating condition. If it is not matching, that means I'll just exit out of the while loop, like the scan is completed. Only thing is, we have to be cautious of boundaries of the array. So this, either when we are doing left minus 1 or right plus 1, we have to ensure that we are not crossing over the boundaries of array. So that's basically this part, and then this is just to check whether it is still the target. So this is the first part of it. I would also try to implement this solution using 2 binary searches. So here the time complexity is you're doing one binary search and then you're doing a left scan as well as a right scan. So imagine that, let's say, if the numbers where the target number was repeated a lot in the array, then this scanning part might take actually quite a bit of time. Even though the current test cases are passing, you could see that it was actually a little bit slower, on the slower side, right? So we can try to speed it up by avoiding this sequential scan and instead opting for doing 2 binary searches. So that will be the part 2 of this video, but I'll just